Good afternoon, my name is Liam Nield and this is the MU Review, the place where I talk all things Manchester United in the world of football, and phew, that was a lot more nerve-wracking than I was expecting. Much like last week, I expected us to come into this game against Anderlecht, the second leg of our quarter-final following on from our first leg draw last week. I expected us to breeze through. I expected us to already be home and hosed in this leg. I think Mourinho said it himself in the press conference that he wanted to be able to play youngsters in this game because we should have already had it put away, but we didn't, and we came into the home leg still needing to get the job done. We were leading at the start of the game on away goals, so we all went in there thinking, okay, strong start, put them away. We had the strong start, got the goal, Mkhitaryan with a neat finish, but then the same old problems crept in. We didn't finish our chances. After that, we settled, we sat back, we allowed them back into the game. Ultimately, the Rojo injury was the really big blow for our defence in the game because our defence was immense against Chelsea, immense defence. But then Rojo adds to our list of centre-back injuries, and Daley Blind has to come in. And don't get me wrong, I think Daley Blind's a hell of a footballer. I just have never really rated him at centre-half. He's had a few solid games there, especially last season under LVG, but he's had a lack of minutes this season, and you could tell that he was out of sync with the rest of the back line. I thought Bailly, Shaw and Valencia was superb, however, and Sergio Romero, despite a couple of hiccups, for the most part came up with the goods when we needed him to. Once it was 1-1, it was all United. Anderlecht had a couple of opportunities, half chances here and there because we allowed them to, but really it was all us, and we had so many opportunities. Ibrahimovic was abysmal. It was his worst game in a United shirt, and I'm not afraid to say that because a man who has the bravado that he has to take it on the chin when he doesn't perform, and he didn't perform today. He was half the man that Marcus Rashford was on the pitch. Rashford was the life source of the team, he was the one man, apart from maybe Paul Pogba in the defence, at least on the front foot, who was consistently getting the ball into dangerous areas. Lingard had a patchy game, was substituted. Mkhitaryan had a patchy game, mostly good, but still some bad showings. And Paul Pogba, again, really did his best to dominate in the middle of the pitch. He still needs to finish, he needs to kind of smooth off the edges in his game. He still had a couple of bad giveaways and a couple of pesky fouls, and he holds onto the ball a little too long sometimes. But ultimately, Rashford popped up with the goal in extra time. I really thought we were heading for penalties, especially after Ibrahimovic missed from 4 yards and Lingard managed to put wide when he got his foot to the ball inside the 6-yard box. It seemed like it was going to be one of those days, but luckily it wasn't. Two of the other quarterfinals went to extra time. Schalke took Ajax to extra time after a 2-0 win, but then ultimately conceded a couple of goals in extra time to go out, and so Ajax and all their youngsters are going to be there in the semi-finals. Celta Vigo also got through against Genk, and we saw Besiktas go out to Lyon. Personally, I was quite happy that Besiktas went out for no other reason than I don't really fancy going to Turkey and back on a Thursday night at this stage in the season when we've already got enough games to worry about with as few players as we have, lessened by 2 more injuries tonight. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, despite a tough evening where he didn't play too well, big blow for us to see him go. Obviously Rashford's going to have to step up on a regular basis potentially for the rest of the season now. We'll have to wait and see how the injuries go, but yeah, we're in the Final Four, we're still the favourites. I mean, we've got to get a strong performance in the semi-finals. No matter who we get, we're going to struggle in the same way that we struggled against Anderlecht, because Anderlecht are no stronger than any other team in the competition. If anything, they're weaker, as we proved by beating them just about over the 2 legs. So it's going to be interesting to see who we get. I don't really have a preference, obviously. I mean, there's shorter travel time going to, I suppose, well, I don't really know how far away any of that stuff is, to be honest. So yeah, ultimately it just comes down to whoever it is, we should be beating them. I suppose I want to avoid Lyon just because they've got Lacazette. He's the only real top player, I think, from any of those teams that I can think of off the top of my head. If you can correct me, have a go in the comments. That's a segue for you. Yeah, this video is about over. Man of the match, Marcus Rashford, of course. He scored the winning goal. He was the life force of the team, as I said before. Consistently good going forward. Yeah, we're through to the semi-finals. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Comment if you've got anything to say or to correct me on anything I've said in my rambling, winding rant that I've just gone on. And subscribe if you want to see more of these videos and see more content from me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.